So, Penny, explain to us what it is you've been asking people to do, looking for equipment, and how they can help, how that helps Ukraine.
Well, I recognize that when people see the appalling things that are going on and how brave the Ukrainian people are, they want to help. But what we need to do is to make sure that that help is genuinely what they need. And what the Ukrainian embassy has asked for is particular things to protect civilians. So body armor, helmets, medical supplies. And if you look at my Twitter feed, pinned to the top is a link that will take people to that list of equipment. And I thought I represent Portsmouth. There's a lot of ex-military and military people there. They're bound to have some of this kit up their lofts, and I was right. So military spouses have been having a good spring clean and chucking away all the kit that they've been tripping over for years. And we've been really inundated. We put out this appeal, and we've been able to collect a lot of kit. But other parts of the country will be in a similar position. And I would encourage you, if you've got old body armor, it's got to be level 4 or above, helmets, anything that can protect either soldiers or civilians. Please do send it to, it's actually the Ukrainian Social Club in London. That's the hub for collecting this stuff.
So if we're being completely honest, should people have Ministry of Defence equipment in their lofts? Is it something of an amnesty? This is a good opportunity to come forward and admit maybe you forgot to return your equipment when you finish serving, and so this is a good opportunity to put it to a good use.
Well, quite often people buy kit themselves. They buy all sorts of things themselves. Although I will hope the Treasury doesn't look on any of my social media pictures over the next few days. But there will be kit that's out of date, for example, or peculiar sizes, and people aren't going to hand it back or on to anyone else. There will be lots of this stuff around, and it's just there gathering dust. We can put it to good use and get it to somebody, including civilians who need protection.
And I know this is something that started off in your constituency, because you've served as well. Like you said, Portsmouth has got a big military presence too. Did you be honest? Did you have anything in your loft?
Well, no, I tend not to have a lot of body armor and things like that. But there is some clothing, thermal layers and things like that are very helpful. And also, actually, there's a lot of businesses as well who have stock that they can donate, particularly on the medical side of things as well. So we're just really trying to show our support and to really make best use of what we've got. This is what the people of Ukraine need. And we will try and get it to them.
And I know that you've been doing this locally, and people have been sending things to your office. But as you mentioned, as this becomes a more national thing, and people across the country might be finding things. If someone's listening to this and thinks, "Oh, actually, I have got some body armor or something in the loft, or some kit," how do they get it so that it gets to the right place?
Well, they can do a number of things. They can go onto the Ukrainian embassy's website, and there'll be contact details there, or email them, and they'll send you contact details. They could also give it to their member of parliament and get them to drop it off in my office here. There are many ways to do this. And if they just look at my Twitter feed, they can find ways to do that.
All the details on that. Well, it's a brilliant thing. At a time when everyone's sort of trying to think, well, what can they do to help? They feel like they want to do something. At least this is a practical thing. And how quickly do you think the kit that you've got now piling up in your office, I don't know how much you've actually got there, but how quickly can it get to Ukraine?
Well, we'll be doing regular deliveries. We only have to get it to London, and then it's taken forward there. And that's the best way to get things out there. There's a lot of people, very understandably, throwing all sorts of things in vans and driving them to Poland. That's actually causing a bit of problem at the border. So try and tap into one of the either big aid agencies or the Ukrainian embassy here in the UK to work out what's the best way of getting that kit there. But we'll regularly be dropping this off every week.
Just talk me through, how much stuff have you actually got, and what's any weird things that people have dropped off?
No. I mean, it's a weird situation to start with, Matt. To be honest, but we've had just a great response. We only put this call out at the beginning of the week, and I'm doing it in conjunction with my local paper, the Portsmouth Evening News,
Yeah.
whose reporters are tripping over all kinds of camouflage kit at the moment. There'll be more to follow, I'm sure, and I'm just really grateful for people just taking the time to do this. It will save someone's life.
And then more broadly, in terms of other people saying, they don't have military kit at home, but they want to do something to help. Lots of people coming forward saying they would put up a Ukrainian or Ukrainian family and that sort of thing. Do you think the government is doing enough to support the number of Ukrainians who are clearly, we're talking about, I've heard of today, 1 million people have already fled Ukraine. That's putting huge pressure on the countries immediately surrounding there. Britain has a long history of looking after people in times of war like this. Do you think Britain needs to go further? The rules, the visa relaxations put in place so far, are they enough, or do you expect Britain to go further?
Well, you're right to point to that history, Matt, and we will live up to that history. I think people shouldn't worry about our systems and processes being identical to that of countries on the border. They've got a different issue to deal with, which is obviously people immediately crossing. What we are doing is getting people transferred from there through our systems into the UK. We will be extremely generous, not just government, but communities. We've always done that, whether it's been Afghans fleeing the terrible situation there, or Hong Kongers making their home here. We will do whatever it takes to protect people and keep people safe. And there'll be more news to come on that, I'm sure.
Is that your expectation, that actually this isn't the final offer, and the Home Office will have to go further?
Well, people are going to be developing schemes, as obviously I think you had Caroline Noakes on earlier talking about what communities can do and how government's facilitating that. This is a really fluid situation, and we've got to see what the need is, and also for British nationals as well who have Ukrainian family, some of which are trapped still in Ukraine. We absolutely will live up to that history. That's what our country has always done and will continue to do so.
Penny.